Good morning, everyone. I'm genuinely convinced that I have a Dead by Daylight dev on a burner account in my comment section because I just read quite literally the most confusing comment I've read in my life. Once again, I'm gonna start this by saying do not go out of your way to harass or bother anyone. While I disagree with their point, they're allowed to call me wrong, and I'm allowed to also call them wrong in reply. They say, I wasn't going to say anything, but after hearing you say they're delusional is crazy. I don't think you understand how hard it is for behavior trying to fix everything for people. They fixed the most overpowered perks and reworked everything, and it took them longer to do so because there's some people not saying anything about it. It was half a team who plays one role. People using the exploit are just trying to win. I know it's unfair for the killer, but playing during a glitch gives them funny haha because the game breaks after every update. It's no surprise, but I'm pretty sure they're working because they should get reports from people, including the big content creators. It's hard to miss. So just sit down and give them time, okay? Behavior's trying their best to make the game fun for everyone. Of course it's gonna break. So just chill. And I just cannot wrap my head around this take. I have been gawking over this comment pretty much since I saw it. It came out like right when I woke up. I woke up and I decided to see if I had any new comments, and this was on the top. And I've never read anything so confusing. I understand that playing during a glitch might offer some like funny haha moments, but this kind of enjoyment comes at the expense of fair play and the core experience for everyone else. The presence of such a game-breaking bug, especially one that punishes the killer for doing the main objective, severely disrupts the balance and integrity of the game. It's not just about momentarily amusement, it's about maintaining a fair and balanced player versus player experience. And in the same patch that they introduced this bug, they launched a new battle pass, which highlights that behavior is content with expecting players to spend money on cosmetics, but they're not pushing themselves to ensure that these patches are bug free. That's absolutely ridiculous. This suggests that revenue generation is being put over game quality, which is ridiculous. And so I think you coming to the defense of the behavior devs is just such an ignorant take because you're not looking at the entire situation. But once again, that's okay. That's okay. I like replying to comments. It's true that game development is complex too, and fixing everything takes time. But this particular bug has been in the game for almost a week at this point. And in a live service game, immediate action is such a significant priority. Players have a right to expect a certain level of responsiveness, especially for a game that's been out for several years and a game that expects us to spend money on cosmetics. Like, what? I don't understand why no one is seeing this. You mentioned that people using the exploit are just trying to win, right? And that might be true, but it doesn't make it acceptable. Exploiting bugs undermines the integrity of the game and creates an unfair environment for everybody. And while unfair doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad environment for the survivors, it's still miserable to play in. I'm genuinely surprised that there are still killers in the servers because I can't, dude. There are some people in the comments too saying that they just haven't been running into this bug, and you must have just been luckier than me because I am running into this bug every single game. I've played roughly like 15 matches in the past like 2 play sessions, and every game except for one had the generator bug present. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm pretty sure my DC like suspension timer was the highest it's ever been because I was disconnecting every time I saw the generator bug present because it's absolutely ridiculous. It's reasonable to believe that the developers are working on it right now, especially with all the reports and all the videos and the content creators pointing it out. However, the duration of this bug without a communication update is unacceptable. They are actively posting things. Like, I think their most recent post is about a miscommunication with the cross progression. They said that if you had duplicate chapters when cross progression came out, you would be reimbursed, but it only gave you the reimbursement for one chapter. So for people that had multiple duplicate chapters, they were only reimbursed for one chapter. Also, this reimbursement wasn't iridescent shards, and I think that should also be clarified. So they made a post addressing this, but they're not going to make a post addressing the generator bug? That's absolutely ridiculous. If they expect us to spend money on their battle pass, we should expect them to be transparent and talk about these issues. They treat these game-breaking issues like taboo, like we know you're aware. Nobody is buying that you're just oblivious to this bug. So fix it. A game that is live service with the player count that Dead by Daylight has should not be in this state for longer than a day. I'm sticking to that. I'm sticking to that guns. And so it's just ridiculous. And yeah, it's important to be patient and understanding, but it's also important for the community to voice their concerns. If the entire community was just sucking off behavior's dick despite all of their shortcomings and all of their mistakes, we would probably have a worse game. Dead by Daylight would be worse if nobody expressed their dislike and their distaste for some of the things that behavior has done over the years. And yeah, I think that's it. That's it for this comment. We're gonna go on to the next one, because this next one was even more confusing. Still been playing Killer. Bug hasn't affected my matches much. It's pretty easy to avoid as well. Just play a 12-hook game. Usually by the time you hit 8 hooks, they're on the last gen anyway. I think of it as a counter snowball. I make a kill early, now every gen is worth 2 to make up for the missing person. Seems fair to me. Personally, I always found the race to eliminate one player style of gameplay extremely stale, and can only hope that this was a glimpse of an upcoming future. A glimpse of an upcoming future? You want this to be in the game. Nothing of this magnitude, of this power, has been in Dead by Daylight ever, and the general consensus is that in most situations, Dead by Daylight is decently balanced. So, the fact that you think this is balanced, you are saying that you're okay with getting punished as Killer for doing good. So, you doing good as Killer just makes the game harder for you, and that's supposed to be okay? Imagine if every single time a survivor won a chase, they ran slower for the rest of the match. I guarantee that would be patched out in a day. Like, it just doesn't make sense. There is no way, and as a Killer main, that you genuinely think this is healthy for the game and that you hope this is a glimpse into the future. If this became base kit for the game, I would never touch Dead by Daylight with a 10-foot pole again, because you know how ignorant that is? You're already at a disadvantage playing in a 1 versus 4. So the fact that you're expected to be content with the fact that the survivors get a power-up when one of their teammates misplays and dies is ridiculous. Now, there are killers that tunnel a survivor out. That would be good. So maybe if they did implement this, they could make it where if one survivor gets hooked 3 times in a row. But then competitive would be in shambles, because that's how you win in comp, is by turning the match to a 3v1 quickly. Additionally, when you said usually when you're at 12 hooks, they're on the last gens, is still ridiculous. Because if you finally get your first kill at 2 gens, good survivors can easily come back from that. There is no reason to give them a handicap. Survivors are strong enough right now. Killers are getting nerfed damn near every single fucking patch, and every time behavior dares to buff a killer or buff the base kit of a killer, everybody on Twitter is losing their shit saying, oh my god, yeah, because Survivor was just too strong. Yeah, survivors are pretty fucking strong. It is very easy to overpower a killer if you are just slightly better than them. That is why this is like sensitive stuff that you can't just fucking toy around with willy-nilly. And so I think it's ridiculous that you think this is fair. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.